everybody. How are you guys doing today? Good? You excited? My name is Andrea Renee. I work with The Escapists, Clever Games and Smosh Games, if you guys are video game fans. And I'm here today for the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag panel. We have some really exciting stuff to show you guys today, so we're just going to go ahead and get right to it, because I know you guys see who's on the panel up here, and I'm sure you would love to get to talk to them, which you will get to do later on. We will be taking your questions. So before I get started, I thought about talking about some really awesome pirate jokes. Are you guys into that? No, I'm just kidding. Let's just not even go there. No one wants to hear pirate jokes. Maybe later. Maybe later. But today, I want to talk about Assassin's Creed. Yes, I heard that. There will be an R joke at least one point in the panel, right, guys? Like one point? They're like...
It's up to you.
Okay, I'll lead the way. Assassin's Creed has always been known for its incredible storytelling, weaving stunning art, immersive sound, a full orchestra score, engaging voice talent, and of course, awesome gameplay. Whether it's a video game, a comic book, or even action figures, creatives always deliver a cinematic, epic journey that takes you through history. I'm pleased to welcome some of these incredible storytellers to the stage, including Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag lead writer, Darby McDevitt, Assassin's Creed comic book writer, Brendan Fletcher, the legendary artist, you guys know, Todd McFarlane is with us, and the actor responsible for bringing Assassin's Creed's newest assassin to life, the voice of Edward Kenway, Matt Ryan. So Darby, we're going to start with you as the lead writer. I would like to know, so last year we saw a brand new setting for the Assassin's Creed franchise with the American Revolution. Now we're going into the golden age of pirates. So this is quite a big jump, going from a war to the open seas. How did you guys make that jump?
Well, very organically. When we were working on Assassin's Creed 3, and we knew that it was about the American Revolution, and we knew that we had these two characters, Haytham and Connor, which is maybe a spoiler for the one or two people who haven't played AC3. We knew that we wanted to actually do this, what we call internally the Kenway family saga. So we had Haytham and Connor, but we also, right around the time that I was finishing Revelations, we also had this idea to do Edward. We saw that the ship battles were coming together really well in AC3, and we started just doing the math, and we thought, okay, if we're going to do Edward, and we go back just about 50 years, or let's say about 35 years from the start of AC3, we're right in the golden age of piracy. We already have boats, the golden age of piracy. It fit really well. Also, we had like this idea of, there's the American Revolution, which was this push to be a democracy in the New World. But in our research, we also found that the pirates themselves actually thought of themselves as like proto-democratic statesmen, if you will. They set up this pirate republic in Nassau, and for a few years they wanted to try to have their own society. So we kind of thought of it as a pre-revolution revolution. It doesn't go as well as the American Revolution did, or I guess from a British standpoint, as badly as the American Revolution did. But so that's kind of how they fit together too. It's a kind of two revolutions, one of which fails miserably because of alcohol and syphilis and things like that. So, you know.
Always ruins the party, syphilis. Brendan, in the critically acclaimed Assassin's Creed The Chain, are you guys fans of the comic books? Who reads the comic books? Oh, come on, that's it? Like 3 people? And you call yourselves Assassin's Creed fans. Shame for shame. Now, okay, no spoilers here at the panel today. Keep that in mind for your questions later, by the way. Daniel Cross was introduced in the fall, and he made an appearance in Assassin's Creed 3, which, we won't talk about too much about if you guys haven't played the game yet. Crossing over from the comic book to the video game was a really cool experience to see for a character. So what's coming up next with the comic books?
Well, the most important thing is that we're announcing a brand new assassin character. His name is Arbaz Mir, and he's from India. Our new graphic novel is called Assassin's Creed Brahmin, and it takes place in 1839 India.
India?
India.
How did you guys come up with India? There's the art right there.
There's Arbaz Mir, first look. Well, this is, I think the fans have been looking for an Assassin's Creed story set in India for a long time. We've got a really great story to tell with Arbaz Mir and his ancestors, and you'll see that story somehow cross over into the games into the future.
Nothing? You're not
Maybe.
giving up anything else?
Can't talk about that, no.
Oh, I knew I was going to get that at least one time. My favorite answer. We're not talking about that yet. Well, I would like to talk with Matt. Welcome to the panel. Welcome to the Assassin's Creed family.
Thank you.
So, yes, let's get a little round of applause for Edward Kenway. So you are the newest assassin in the assassin family, like I said. There's been others before you. Connor was last year's. He was kind of more of a lone wolf type. Then you've got the original Altair, and of course, my personal favorite, Ezio. Yes, you guys Ezio fans? So I wanted to know, how did you was it like daunting to think about how you're going to create this character, knowing all of the assassins that came before Edward?
Well, I kind of just sort of took what was in front of me, really, and worked with Darby on the character. I think what's great about this, the character of Edward, is the way that he comes to become an assassin. He is a very conflicted character, and the difference between him is that he has this real internal struggle as to whether to be a Templar or an assassin, and that was the real interesting thing for me, was to sort of try and approach the character in such a way that could be ambiguous.
Ambiguous, that's okay. Did you do any special preparation for this role? Did you maybe go out on the high seas, walk some planks?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to sail any pirate ships or shiver me timbers, as they say. I would have liked to, but they're not very accessible in England. I did visit a pirate ship, or an old ship, it's not a pirate ship, in the UK called the Cutty Sark, which was really interesting to kind of see the actual scale of the ship, you know. And because you use the full performance capture as well, you have to imagine everything, so it's not right in front of you. So I did a lot of work on kind of his physicality and what that would mean. I read a bunch about the period and the time, and what astonishes me is how much these guys drink. You know, they would drink all the time and then climb their topsails and still be able to function and work under those conditions. But I didn't do too much research into the drinking. I was fine with that. But
oh, you didn't have any rum at all in preparation for this role? Come on.
I think maybe one or two, but not too many. No.
Well, when I was at the Ubisoft offices recently, they had rum everywhere. Can you imagine, like, just drinking rum during the middle of your workday? Am I getting people in trouble? I hope not. Well, I do want to let you guys know that we're going to be showing you a never-before-seen by the public gameplay demo that Matt is actually going to do the voiceover for. Since Edward Kenway is here, we thought we better put him to work. Are you guys ready to see some gameplay? Well, I have seen it. All right, so you guys are going to be able to ask questions. So if you guys want to begin maybe lining up, if you're interested in asking questions, now may be the time to do that. So we are going to go ahead and get started with our demo.
So what you're going to see in this first part is what is the full performance capture, what we actually shot in the studio in Montreal. And this is kind of where the animation takes over, the gameplay takes over. The great thing I love about Edward is he's charismatic. As you can see here, he has a way with the ladies. He's charismatic, he's brave, he's brash, he's fierce, but he's also very loyal. I mean, it takes a long time for people to get to know him and for him to trust people, but once they do, he's extremely loyal. He's also not afraid to speak his mind and say what he feels to anyone around him. Edward's someone who kind of follows his gut instinct and sort of acts on impulse, but he also has a fine intelligence when he actually takes a moment to ponder and not be too hasty. He's also extremely self-driven, and throughout the game, that often brings problems to him in terms of the relationships around him. He's pretty nifty with a sword as well, and his hidden blades. Edward comes from a place in Wales, and he's someone who from a very young age wanted to seek fame and glory and leave his hometown and seek pastures new. So this is something that really drives Edward. He comes from a poor background, and he's someone who really wants to climb the ladder and achieve glory for himself and status within the hierarchy. He appreciates real people and doesn't suffer fools lightly. He's... Wow. The great thing I love about him is that he's first and foremost a pirate, but he has all these skills of an assassin. So to me, he's like the coolest pirate ever, you know? And throughout the game, he comes across several different characters that become his mentor. Like Blackbeard, as you see here, is one of his mentors, and he develops different relationships with these different people. And Blackbeard is one of the people who he becomes closest to throughout the game. I mean, in this time period, people were quite carefree. They had to be carefree, and that often gets Edward into trouble. You know, he's kind of driven by his own self-need for glory, and that kind of gets him in trouble with a lot of people, and especially the authorities at the time, the British and the Spanish. I wish I could do that in real life. There's also something different about this assassin, about Edward, is his fighting style is a little bit more rough and ready to some of the other assassins, which I really like. It's more gritty and real then. And that's the teaser.
Pretty cool, right? There's actually going to be more stuff that you can see here at San Diego Comic-Con, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. Before we get to your questions, Todd, you are here joining us today, and I know that you brought some things with you. So maybe you could show everybody in the audience the cool toys that you have with you.
Sure. Hey, look, I've been making toys for 20 years, and we like to hang around big property. So we've got, obviously, with AC4 coming out, we've got some of the characters that you guys know. I brought a couple of them here. We got Haytham, we got Connor, and obviously the big boy coming up, Edward. Here's the big thing. is that for the first time in the 20 years I've been making toys, you're going to get unlockables for gameplay. When you buy this, it'll be at the bottom. You're going to get a little card in here. There's going to be a code on the back. You go to Uplay, you plug it in, and you're going to get some unlockables that will actually enhance your play as you go into the game. So for a couple of them, you're going to get a treasure map. It's going to tell you how to get there. You're going to get, for Hatham, you're going to get a different costume and a different coloring that's sort of reminiscent of AC3 and the color coding that he had. For Connor, you're going to get unique sails for his ship. As you guys saw in the previews here, the ships that they have in the game are characters in and of themselves, so you get to have fun with it on the look of it, and you're going to get a new set of sails here. The cool one, though, is still Edward. And Edward, what you're going to do is you're going to get to unlock the Kenway family sword. So it's going to be a boosted upgrade of a sword that is better than the one that you're going to get when you first start. It's not going to be the strongest one. They need to save some of that for the game. But you're going to get another one. And then in the actual pack itself, you're going to get 2 of the swords. And again, why do we get 2 swords? Because again, in AC3, they've got a new playing mechanic where you're going to get dual sword play, as you guys saw here. That's going to be really awesome. So we're having a good time with that. For some of you guys and gals out there that don't want just sort of cheap 4 or 5 ounces of plastic, we also have So, and he spins. So this here we got Edward here, based on some of the style guide artwork that Ubisoft has supplied us. You can't see too much right here, but it's clear. It's clear.
Don't worry, he didn't
here.
break it. It's okay.
It's clear on here. He's walking in the water. You've got bloodied pirates that are down at the bottom. This will be nearly 15 inches tall, and you can spin him so you can put it in any position you want when you've got it in your room. So this is the big boy. We've got the other one, and we hope you guys support not only the game, but some of the product, and you can get some of the unlockables.
Yeah, put it together, guys. That's awesome. He's never shown this statue yet to anybody. And it's not painted, right? Correct? It's going to be full color.
Pardon me?
The statue.
Oh, no, oh, yeah, just look at this is our prototype that we've got it here so you guys can see it. If you want a close-up of it, I'm going to be signing at 4 o'clock on the ship. Come and take a quick and close look at it. You get to see all the cool stuff. But he'll be fully painted. Yeah, I mean, it'll be the character in all the colors that you guys are used to. We just got this one ready for San Diego.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Well, now that we have seen some gameplay and we've talked to our panelists, I know that you guys want to talk to the panelists. So we are going to go ahead and start with Q&A. And when you come up, please just introduce yourself, ask your question, and try to refrain from story spoilers. Thanks.
Hi, my name's Lauren. I have a question in regards to creating the storyline of Assassin's Creed. I know that you guys have, really want to keep it as close to historically correctness as possible. So how is creating the story and collaborating with like people, like historians, like how does that work out together? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it totally makes sense. What we usually do with every creed is that as soon as we pick a time period, we go do a lot of research. And I did probably about 5-6 months of research for this. Start to accumulate a lot of data. The designers are working on things on their own, presenting things. And then we have a big powwow. And we decide what parts of the historical accuracy we need to keep and what parts would actually get in the way of gameplay. An example I use a lot is that typically sailors at the time, even in the Royal Navy, would only wear a checkered shirt and pants. They wouldn't have uniforms. Only a couple of the officers would have uniforms. We decided to get rid of that because it was actually very difficult to figure out who you were supposed to kill and who you were supposed to help when you were boarding a ship because they all looked the same. So we this little bit of historical accuracy we throw out the window, and put everyone in officers' uniforms. And we do this for every aspect of the game. Like we say, hey, that event would be amazing to have, that character would be amazing to have, but does it serve the gameplay? And that's a long process that takes, a good year and a half, or the full length of the game, really. But that's kind of how we approach it. Start with history, and then whittle away when it gets in the way of really fantastic gameplay.
And guys in checkered shirts don't make cool-looking toys either.
That's right.
So.
Hello.
Hello.
My name's Kyle, and I was just wondering that I noticed in the preview clip you were showing that there was the Spanish officers, and then in the gameplay there was the British. Is there any specific locations that the game will take place in, like islands or ports? Can you mention any of that?
There are the cities, so there's Havana, Kingston, and Nassau. Havana is obviously Spanish. Kingston's British. Nassau is run by pirates for quite a while. Most pirates at the time were actually British or from the British Isles, probably about 80%, or from the American colonies. But we have Cuba, Jamaica, the Bahamas, and lots of 50 major locations, 75 tiny beaches and playas. Our designers have said, okay, this is a Spanish port, this is a British port, and there's even some French characters and some Portuguese characters as well, but the main factions are Spanish and British. So you'll see a lot of diversity, cultural and linguistic diversity in the game.
Hi. Obviously, naval gameplay is not new to the Assassin's Creed series, but in Assassin's Creed 3, with the exception of a few missions, it was pretty much optional. How much of the gameplay in Assassin's Creed 4 relies on naval gameplay, and how difficult was it to find the balance between old Assassin's Creed gameplay and the new naval gameplay?
The split's about 60-40, so 60 on land, 40 on the water. That number is a little hard to stick to, though, because we worked really hard to make everything seamless. So there's lots of missions that will begin on land, force you to jump on, like we saw here in the demo, force you to jump on your ship, go somewhere, blast some ship, jump back onto land, and go. So, but in general, we've said about 60 on land, 40 at sea. We've revamped a lot of the ocean or the naval mechanics to make it more robust, a lot more variety. So we really just decided these missions, we laid out a bunch of different scenarios and missions, and we said how many can we get away with and still make sure that they're always fresh, always interesting. How many different ways can we put these ship battles together to make something new every time? So I think we've hit a really good mark, and we'll soon see.
Thank you.
My name is Miles, and I was wondering how the assassin recruits are going to play in the new Black Flag.
Edward does not have assassin recruits in this because he's a pirate trained by assassins, but he pisses off the assassins quite a lot. So he's busy building his crew, and maybe maybe you can talk about your relationship with the pirates. But yeah, we got rid of the Brotherhood because for gameplay reasons, it actually helps stealth gameplay. When you have that nuclear option where you can just assassin, kill everybody, it actually makes it really hard for the designers to make interesting assassination and infiltration levels. So we got rid of some things that made stealth too or useless, but he's very much a pirate with a pirate crew.
But trained by assassins, which makes him the coolest pirate in the world.
I always say he likes their tools and techniques, but he doesn't like their creed very much. It's very restrictive, but he may soon learn otherwise. We'll see.
Is it on? Okay. Hello, my name is Heather, and I was wondering, there is a remarkable similarity between the Animus in the Assassin's Creed series and the new link system in Watch Dogs. I was wondering if the two were linked in any way.
Yeah, is that on? Not directly. We have what we call, where I think maybe I started calling, and I haven't approved this with anyone at Ubisoft, but I call it instead of the universe, we have the Ubiverse. We like to make links between games, but Watch Dogs is not modern day Assassin's Creed. It is Watch Dogs. It's its own fantastic new property. So, no. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Mark from Vancouver, Canada.
Hey.
So
Go, go Canadians.
I'm just wondering if you guys have released which collector's editions are going to be in Europe, and I'm just wondering if they're going to be similar in North America, or they're going to be different ones.
I'm unfortunately not the one I don't think any of us are know the editions very well, but they're always, every region has its own little special edition, but
I was just wondering if you guys were going to release the black chest version in North
I don't
America.
know. There's probably people around here that could answer that better than me, but we'd have to get back to you.
All right, thanks.
Hi, I'm John. I really like the exploration aspect of the game because we can go pretty much anywhere, and that allows us access to collectibles. And in previous gameplay footage, you've introduced diving, and we've seen how large the ocean map is going to be. Will we be able to dive the entirety of that ocean map, or will it be restricted to more key points of interest?
Yeah, you're restricted to shipwrecks and underwater formations. Our world is way too massive to have actually built the entire underwater, because there's all these big islands, but then this insane amount of water. So it takes, like, I was just playing the game a couple of days ago, and there's one mission that sends me almost across the entire map for my first kind of sail about the world, and it took me a while because I was getting distracted along the way. But it can take you can really feel like you're going on a long sea voyage from say the Bahamas down to Jamaica. So yeah, it's restricted to certain dive sites, but they're pretty big.
Hi, my name is Gabe.
Hello.
In Assassin's Creed 3, you played as both Haymitch and Connor, and since Haymitch's dad is Edward, I was asking, is there going to be like a cameo of Haymitch in Assassin's Creed 4, or maybe even better, like you can play as Haymitch for a little bit in Assassin's Creed 4?
I don't want to spoil that for an entire room of. But no. I mean, yeah.
I can't say anything.
Yeah. We do. I will say this. I wrote this game so that it felt like once you have this game in your hands, if you play it in the opposite order, if you play 4 then 3, I do want it to feel like one massive story. So that's all I will say in that regard.
The Kenway family saga.
Yeah. It'll feel good. There'll be a nice, the way this game ends will kind of lead nicely, I think, into AC3, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Numerically backwards, but.
Hello, my name is JB, and I would like to say I really love the multiplayer in Assassin's Creed.
Cool.
And
come to our pirate ship, and you can actually play it.
I was just wondering if there's any other new perks or skills that they're gonna.
Yeah, the coolest thing about the multiplayer this year, something I'm super excited about, is that we have this thing called the Game Lab, and we actually let you design your own game modes. And I think there's hundreds of parameters where you can tweak them. You can set what kind of scoring system you want, what weapon restrictions. You can basically design a game mode, invite your friends to play it, and I think hopefully, if we find game modes we like that players have designed, that we'll promote them in some way. But so that's the big one: is design your own game and have a crack at being a designer yourself.
Hey, my name is Jesus. I read there was about three more Assassin's Creed being developed right now, and I was wondering if they're all going to be console games or it's going to be another handheld like the Vita one, and also if you guys are getting rid of the online passes for this one.
Not sure about the last one. Yeah, there was news reports about these things, and we're always working on some kind of Assassin's Creed thing, but not going to reveal any the specific features of them. Sorry.
Hi, my name's Connor, and I was wondering.
Yes, I see that.
Yeah. And
Radon Hogedon.
I was wondering, in the trailer gameplay, we saw that there's a lot of now multiple pistols. And I was wondering, is it going to be more gun game, or are we still going to have that hand-to-hand combat?
Oh, lots of hand-to-hand combat still. The whole pirate thing was that these were single-shot weapons, and it was very common for pirates to carry multiple, a whole brace of pistols because they wanted to be able to get a bunch of shots off very quickly. So Edward can upgrade to 4 pistols. It's a cool quick fire system where if you're fully loaded, but then you have to spend time reloading it. So, but he's also a skilled hand-to-hand fighter. So, and we worked really, really hard to bring stealth, back to this amazing level. So there's going to be a lot of variety. If you want to go guns blazing and swords clashing, you can do that. But the stealth option is also going to be very, very viable.
And you saw in the am I on? You saw in the trailer too. There was a scene where he had the 2 guns. He took his 2 shots and he threw it away, and it went back to the blades. Right? Some good acting by Matt. So that was a nice transition that was there where he's talking about going back and forth.
And also the hidden blades as well.
Yeah.
2 of them.
2.
My name is Rob, and I'm from Spokane, Washington.
Hey, so am I.
Yeah, Darby and I used to buy Todd McFarlane's comics together.
Did we?
Yes, we did. That's Rob Tomlinson. I don't know if you remember.
Holy shit. Okay, it's Rob. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was wondering, how did you get here? What did you do that led you to being the writer for Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, we go way back.
That's awesome.
Well, it was a long, slow journey. I've been in this industry 14 years. I got right out of college, and I just slowly, I guess paid dues or whatever. And I started writing handheld games for Bloodlines, Discovery. And then I guess they liked my work, and so they called me over for Revelations. So I've been there 3 years. Are you still in Spokane?
No, actually, I'm in Los Angeles, and if you've got time, I'd like you to meet my wife and
yeah,
our
sure.
friends.
Let's all go have drinks together, yeah?
Back after this is over.
Cool, man. Good to see you. We'll see you.
Hey, and for what it's worth, I got my first comic job when I was living in Spokane, going to school there, college. So
yeah, Rob and I were like, yeah, we used to go down to the comic book shops and buy all your comics.
Sure.
And
Do you want to sit here?
Hi, my name is Sam. I saw some images of one of my favorite assassins, Evelyn, appearing in the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 versions of Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And I was wondering if you'd tell us maybe how much she'll participate in the game or any information about her role?
Yeah, I can tease a little bit. The Evelyn stuff was written by Jill Murray, so she actually wrote the Vita game as well. So we brought her on board to write that stuff and a lot of other content in our game. And because the present day is set in Abstergo Entertainment, which is this fun, amazing, hip company to work for at first. The way you access the Evelyn stuff is because your coworkers are working on different, retrieving genetic memories of all kinds of different people, assassins. They're figuring out if all these different assassins are maybe they would make good products, would Ezio make a good product? Would Altair make a good product? Would Evelyn make a good product? And would Edward make a good product? So there's this sort of this fun entertainment studio vibe, and that's kind of how you access. If you have one of the Sony consoles, you can go and access your coworker's computer and have a go at some Evelyn memories.
Hi, my name's Demetria, and I have a quick question. I'm Middle Eastern, and I would like to know, are you guys going to go more based on the Middle Eastern assassins? I know you guys have the Babylonian assassins and the Persian assassins. Just curious.
Sorry, I was distracted. Are we, where we're going to, we never really discussed.
If you're going to further, expand or go back to the Middle Eastern assassins, I know you guys have the Babylonian assassin, and the Persian.
We really, we always have ideas about where we'd like to go, but the reality of these games, of course, is that they take 2 to 3 years to make. So, I'm not going to reveal what we have in store for you in the following years, but all of us at the studio have our places we'd like to go, and it's just sort of like we have to, like a show of hands. Where would we like to go next? And so sorry, I can't really reveal.
Should totally go Persian.
Yes. Well, the original assassin, the Hashashin, were originally in modern day Iran, Alamut. That was in the sort of top part of Iran, right? We ended up taking that and setting it in what's now Syria, but so yeah, maybe one day. Who knows?
Brendan, are we going to maybe see that in the comic books?
You're going to get a little Persian call out in Brahman for sure, and I don't think you'll see the last of that if we have anything to say about it. If Brahman is successful at all, and we get to continue the story in the comics, yeah, there might be a little something.
All right. Thank you.
They going to Canada anytime soon?
Todd.
A Newfoundland pirate? Nothing better than a Newfie pilot.
Todd, we have great hopes for the sequel to Brahman.
Okay.
We'll give you a call.
From India to Canada. It makes total sense. Let's do it.
The Winnipeg assassin.
That's AC 29 is what they're telling me. So, yeah.
Hi, I'm Taylor, and so you talked about the 60-40% for land and sea, and so since it's such a big world and there's a lot of traveling in the ocean, I was wondering like what's going to make it interesting while you're traveling at sea, because you can't have like an armada battle every single second. So what's going to make it? What's going to make that those long travels more interesting? Parentheses, add a sea monster.
Yeah. The summon Kraken. No. We worked on this thing that we kind of called the horizon system, which was like we always wanted every 30 seconds to a minute for something to catch your eye, whether that's a place to stop and get off your ship and explore the beaches, or see a jungle and go into it, or a fishing village and that has an assassination contract in it. Lots of different ships, lots of different things to collect at sea, harpooning opportunities. That's obviously been the biggest challenge for us, and I think we've achieved it. And you can actually push a button and your crew will start singing sea shanties, and you can collect those throughout. So, and then of course there's a fast travel system. So if the story is really pumping along and you want to just get from one place to another, you can fast travel there if you've located that place already. But yeah, I mean, I think we've achieved it. We will see. But that was definitely our biggest challenge right from the beginning. We always knew that there was great games like Wind Waker that also dealt with that problem, and so yeah, we'll see.
Hi, my name's JD, and I'm from Palm Coast, and I'd like to ask, is this the last Assassin's Creed game?
No. You could ask another one if you want.
That was an easy one.
And will there be anything with the Animus?
Yeah, we have Abstergo. So we go back to Abstergo now. So because we've been with, in AC1, you were in Abstergo, and Desmond was a prisoner. And then we broke away and went to the Assassins. So then now we were using the Assassins like hacked Animus, but now we're back in Abstergo. So Abstergo has really upgraded their technology, and you'll see the Animus is, the way you access it is quite different. And much more high-tech. They have a lot of money, so they get to innovate much more quickly than the Assassins.
Hi, I'm Brody, and my question is, in previous Assassin's Creed games, you've had little missions like to find myths like the Loch Ness Monster. Will there be those included in Assassin's Creed 4?
What was the mission?
Like there was to find the Headless Horseman and just,
Oh, yeah. That's cool. We do have a lot of side content. Those were very specific, like the Headless Horseman and playing on the myths of the era, like what's that, Washington Irving and stuff like that. I don't think we have those kinds of missions, but we have a lot of really good side content and side missions that have their own sort of story threads. So there's plenty of side content in the game.
Hi, my name is Casey, and I'm an international student from Taiwan, and I'm a big fan. I go as far as when I one time I go to the Barnes & Nobles, and when I see a book called Templars and Assassins, I just screamed. Just one question, as for many people who have finished AC3, I believe that a lot of people have questions about Desmond. And since in Black Flag, it's played through as a worker in Abstergo, are we still going to have like a sub-story, like a side story of Desmond's aftermath?
Yes. So, well, Desmond's story is done, but yeah, I'm not telling you how it ends if you. But Desmond's story is over. But the story of the universe still goes on, and so you will actually still see some of the characters from the previous games. They are in our story too. So the story keeps going on. It's just that we finished Desmond's story so that we could remove one layer between the player and Edward. So whereas before it was kind of Inception-y, where it was you playing Desmond, playing whichever character, now it's just you playing Edward. But Desmond's name and legacy and lots of things about him are very omnipresent in our game. And the more you dig into the present day, the more stuff you will find. We have, I would estimate, about 90 minutes of just side content of videos, audio, journals, emails, documents, PowerPoint presentations, things like this, that the more you explore in the present day, the more of this stuff you will find. And I was even lucky enough to write like what I call a 35-minute audio drama. So if you unlock all the pieces of it, you can just sit and push play and listen to a 35-minute audio play that I wrote for the game. So if you want to go make dinner or something while you're listening to Assassin's Creed stuff, you can do that. So there's a tremendous amount of content in the present day.
Hi, my name's Josh. I just recently beat all 5 games so far within the last 6 months because I got my Xbox 360 from my boss last December, and I was like, Assassin's Creed, I need to play the entire series before the 4th one comes out. So anyway, I don't know if you guys were able to get any hands-on permission or anything from Jerry Bruckheimer Films or Disney, if you guys could maybe do a Jack Sparrow costume exclusive for the game.
We don't talk about other pirates here.
Yeah. How dare you, sir? Keelhaul this man.
Off with his head.
But he does have a very nice shirt on, I have to say. If you guys want to take a look at this, is the shirt while you're there.
Yeah.
You guys can actually get this shirt if you pre-order the game here at Comic-Con. We just announced the limited edition of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. If you guys saw that, it comes with a really amazing Edward statue. It comes with the soundtrack, steelbook case, a bunch of other really cool stuff, including a Black Flag. So if you guys want that shirt, you can pre-order the game here while you're at Comic-Con and get yourself one. Nice shirt, man. You can do it on the pirate ship, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
I didn't even answer
We have a
his
pirate
question.
ship, by the way. If you didn't, if you didn't see it, it's gigantic.
Come out to the pirate ship. So when you go home, you can say, I saw the Batman costume, the Superman costume, and I was on a pirate ship. It's right behind the convention as you're heading towards the Hilton. You can't miss it. It's the only pirate ship out there, right? So you got, and it's authentic in terms of the build of it. You guys need to come and walk it because the stairs are nice and tight and they're steep. Yeah. And it was the way that it was built. So you guys, if you got a few minutes, come on out and walk on this pirate ship and see some of the cool stuff. It's awesome.
It really is quite an experience. I mean, for the doing the full performance capture, I never actually got to be on a real pirate ship. So for me, it's the first time being on a real pirate ship. So I'm like, wow, this is what it's like. I could only imagine it when we were shooting the game, you know. So it really is fantastic. You should go.
And ladies, rumor has it Matt takes his shirt off when he's on deck all the time out there.
Not too sure about that, but we'll see.
I just take my shoes off.
My name's Anthony.
And my question is, in Brotherhood, one of the side missions was that you can unlock the Ezio costume by getting those different, I don't know, I forgot what they were called because it was such a long time ago, but you got the tokens
Yeah.
and like all the different assassins. I know you don't want to give out too much, but are you ever going to expand on those different assassins? Because like when I was learning about them, like that sounds really cool. I want to play as them.
Oh, you mean all the guys under Monteriggioni?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're there. They're ripe for the picking. If another team or a comic book or whatever. But there's no announced plans to do that. I mean, we like expanding our world so much that we let you dream a little bit. Like I wrote Embers, and we introduced Xiao Jun, this Chinese assassin. And of course, I always dream like we should do more with her. But as long as we can like sort of tease things and keep expanding this world out, I think it just makes it. The act of dreaming is almost more fun than sometimes getting everything you ever wanted. So I'd actually prefer there to be more content than we could ever get to in the games. That maybe sounds like a lame answer, but it's how I feel.
Come on, you want to have a game with a lady assassin as the lead character, right? That's right, girls!
Yep.
We can keep dreaming. Maybe Darby will write us a game someday.
Someone will.
Oh, I see how it is. I see how it is.
No, I would love to. It's just these things take a long time. I want a vacation after this. It's been 2.5 years.
Hi, I'm Luke. So I played AC3, the Tyranny of King Washington, where you get all the goofy kind of powers for Connor. I was wondering if you guys plan to do anything like that with 4, if it's successful enough.
I would love that. We'll see.
I've noticed throughout the Assassin games, like, it's going more forward in history. Are you planning to do something more in the modern age or in, like, the future?
There's always a chance. I don't think that, one of the biggest draws that of Assassin's Creed, I think, is the historical tourism, and we like, the teams love bringing history to life, especially like with something like Pirates, where pirates have a very sort of cliched representation in most media. This is where these all jokes come from, and like, for instance, walking the plank. Pirates didn't do that. They didn't have hooks.
They don't say "r" all the time.
I don't know.
Come
what
on,
is that?
Darby.
Being English, what accent would that be?
Well, I think that comes from the West Country Somerset kind of accent, where they kind of speak a little bit like that, when they were a little bit like that. So I think that comes from the whole R thing comes from there. But it is interesting what Darby's saying. Historically, it's like this mini revolution which has kind of been manipulated by history, by the powers that be that didn't actually want to sort of tell the real story of pirates. And because we see these cliches all the time on screen and in books and things like that, it's really interesting for this game, and where we explore the real world of pirates, what actually, some of the things that actually went on.
Yeah, and so with regard to a modern day or even a future story, a huge aspect of that historical tourism would be, I'm sure it would be a good game, but there would be this sort of like, how do we research that? When you make the future, it's kind of like people just get to make stuff up, and typically they'll be historically grounded, but that would get rid of a huge chunk of what we love about making these games, is doing the research, going and parking pirate ships in the San Diego harbor, and like, it really is an experience to, like, I spent a good 2 days in Portsmouth in England, and I looked at the HMS Victory, which is Lord Admiral Nelson's old ship where he was killed, and it fought against Napoleon's forces, and walking around that and taking photos for the team and getting reference I was just in awe of being in that world, and that was part of the making this game, was like to let you guys all experience what it's like to live at this time. And so I would be surprised if we do a modern day Assassin's Creed game anytime soon, because we just are on this roll we love making these histories, and we love researching this stuff. I hope you guys all love the results. Come on. No.
Hello, name's Raymond. My question is that it's been asked before, like if you would do anything set in Japan, but like it's not very likely due to ninjas and all that. Would that include places like Korea or China, those other East Asian cultures?
No, I think as with pirates, there's this cliche around pirates that people, I think maybe even when the game was announced, they'd be like, oh, pirates, how do you do that in Assassin's Creed? Well, when you play the game, you'll be like, oh, that's of course they had to do that. It's amazing. I think with ninjas or samurai or whatever, if we were to ever do that, we would do it realistically, right? We would approach it with a sense of reverence and reality. So I don't think if we were to ever make that or whatever game we ever made, you can always count on us to take a grounded approach to it, and that's why I don't think any period should ever be ruled out, and you should never think, oh, they can't make this type of game because that's cheesy, because we wouldn't make it cheesy. You know, we would find the reality, and you know, that's a cool era. But there's lots of cool eras, and whatever one we pick, we're going to do right by it. That probably didn't answer your question, but
Well, it kind of did.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but that's, you know, it's not up to one person. There's tons of cool eras, and I think whichever one we pick, next we're going to, bring it to life in the best possible way.
All right, thank you very much.
And this will be our final question, so make it a good one.
Okay.
Don't disappoint.
This one's for Matt, actually. Other than doing trying to imagine the environments you have to act in for the motion capture, what's the hardest part about doing the acting for it?
I think it was, I'd never done performance capture, motion capture before, so it took about a week of working with the guys who were great to, get used to being in a Lycra suit with lots of dots on you and a camera in front of your face, and it's like I'd never got to wear the costume, but I think it's the most difficult thing about it was actually, converting to a new medium. It's almost like a combination of doing theater and film at the same time, because you have to play the whole scene, but at the same time you can go back and do it again. You're not in front of a live audience, but then again you don't have to worry about camera angles because everything's 360 degrees. So it was just for the first week we were shooting, the guys were great, sort of easing me into the whole process. It took a while to get used to, and especially with this camera in front of your face and you're wearing this helmet which is very tight around your head, and you start to get a headache, and then after a while you have to take the helmet off, and it's like releasing some pressure cap, and you're like, oh yeah, great, and then you put it back on. So I would say just sort of adapting to a new medium, really, a complete new medium for me. That was the hardest thing. But I must say it's really enjoyable.
Did you ever get helmet hair?
Complete helmet hair, yeah.
Well, thank you all for your questions and for coming out to our panel today. Todd, could you please remind everybody when they're going to be able to get these awesome toys that you have?
Yeah, hey guys, the toys.
Hold on one second, we're not done yet.
You're going to be able to get the toys at Toys R Us, Walmart, all the big mass guys. So go and look for them. They're coming out in August. Toys will be out in August. Go and look for them. Go out to the boat. I'm going to be doing the signing at 4 o'clock. Some of the other people are going.
Yes, we have a big pirate ship behind the convention center, you guys. There's a new single-player demo there. We also have hands-on with Assassin's Creed multiplayer there. There's a pirate weapons demonstration with historian Mike Lodes. And, of course, you can pre-order the game on the ship. Thanks again for coming out, you guys. Enjoy the rest of your Comic-Con.
He's the one to ask. I just do the acting.